Hey guys, I'm back. Thank you for your patience, or lack thereof. I'm back here, of course, with the DVD set everyone's talking about, True Astonishments. I apologize for the delay. It's been a few weeks since I posted my last review. I apologize. There's been a lot of school stuff going on and finishing exams and things, so I haven't had much time to do much of anything. But I'm back now, and to make it up for it all, I'm going to post 2 reviews today, not 1. So, we stopped at disc 6 last time, so it's time to go on to disc number 7, which I have right over here. There's disc number 7, with 4 effects on it: Water Trap by Bro Gilbert, Dunn's Deal by Sean Dunn, Invisible Palm Aces, the Wayne Houchin variation, and Truly Screwed by Paul Harris. Let's get into it. We'll start at the beginning with Water Trap by Bro Gilbert. This is a nice effect. Very practical. The basic effect is that a signed dime disappears and reappears inside a matchbook. Not just like inside among the matches, but actually like in the fibers of the paper matchbook. Like it's in the opening flap, like it's actually embedded inside the matchbook. So that's a really crazy cool effect, and I believe it's based off of Doug Bennett's Fire Trap. Water Trap is nearly impromptu. Like, there's a simple gimmick, but you can make that up on the fly. It's very easy to make. It doesn't require any extra things like glue or tape or anything like that. And the spectator himself can remove the coin from the fibers of the matchbook, and it is their signed coin. There are no switches, which is a nice little effect, nice little bonus. So Water Trap. My only concerns, there's definite like location-based restrictions here. You really shouldn't perform this in a restaurant setting because it does use fire. You do light the matchbook on fire. To be fair, he does teach some methods that don't require you to light the matchbook on fire, and you could probably come up with your own ways as well. But for the whole routine to be justified appropriately, it really does sort of need to be set on fire. However, I can see this being like an extraordinarily good performance piece for some nice, intimate, close-up theater. Like, I'm working on a one-man show right now, and I think Water Trap would fit the bill. It's just perfect for that sort of setting. It's got fire, really beautiful magic, and a very strong effect. And then you also need a glass of water handy, which also may seem to be sort of a restriction. The glass of water is actually necessary for the method. If you don't have the glass of water, well, it doesn't work. So, overall, Water Trap is a fantastic, stunning effect. Definitely worth your consideration. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Next up, Dunn's Deal by Sean Dunn. This is his version of Out of This World that starts with a borrowed and shuffled deck, and the spectator handles the deck the entire time. The spectator shuffles, the spectator deals the card, spectator shuffles again, and the cards are perfectly separated, red and black. I started off by hating this as a whole, not because of the, well, not as a whole, sorry, but just like one particular phase. When you're showing the cards to the spectators and showing their mixed condition, it's very long, drawn out, redundant, and boring. I mean, it takes a lot of time, and spectators might start to get bored. So I started to hate it, but then I tried it out a few times, I worked with it a bit, and then I started to like it a little bit. It's not a bad effect. If you work on, the only thing I say is you pretty much absolutely have to come up with some scripting that can span for the entire time you're showing the cards, because just doing it silently is not going to work. You're going to lose their interest just like that, because you have to count through practically the entire deck, which, as you can tell, it probably takes a while. So, and also, what I didn't like was at the end of the effect, once you do like the typical Out of This World dealing procedure, the spectator shuffles the deck again one more time. Why? I mean, you've dealt the cards. The dealing part is what's supposed to make Out of This World so effective, is the fact that they somehow sense what the color of each card is and place it in a pile accordingly. Shuffling the deck afterwards sort of ruins that effect for me, and it may, some of the brighter spectators may even be able to reverse engineer the whole procedure. So, Dunn's Deal is one of the weaker versions of Out of This World out there, and I give it a 5 out of 10. Invisible Palm Aces by Wayne Houchin, and Paul Harris, of course. Now, Paul Harris, this is essentially Wayne Houchin's variation on the original Paul Harris Invisible Palm Aces, which in turn, I can't remember the original origin, so please post if you know the origin of this effect, but it's essentially 4 aces magically vanishing from your hands and appearing on the table via the invisible palm by taking each card, turning it invisible, and placing it on the table magically. Wayne Houchen's variation is very, very good. It turns it, I mean, I used to perform invisible palm a little bit, and it wouldn't take up more than maybe, like, a minute and a half, 2 minutes max. But he's got it, the way he's worked on it, has it sort of stretched out into like a full 5 or 6 minute performance piece. So you could do like a full, this could be in a full set show and play really well, because it packs, of course, very small. You've got 4 aces, and plays very long, and plays big too, if your crowd's size well enough. So invisible palm is good for a lot of situations. Strong magic, no gimmicks, no gaffes. Yeah, and 5 minutes with the 4 aces. What more could you want? Invisible palm aces is a classic, and Wayne Houchen's version definitely steps it up a notch. So I'd say that was a 9 out of 10. Good work. And the last one, Truly Screwed by Paul Harris. This is essentially, if you remember his improvised screwed deck from the Art of Astonishment books, this is essentially the same idea. However, you don't have the improvised gimmick with you. There's a gimmick included with the set, a few gaff cards. But the method is essentially the same, except for maybe a few Hitley tweaks here and there. I quite like Truly Screwed. It's a nice little bit in between effects, or if you're just starting a card set, it's a very neat little visual bit. There are only a few minor quibbles here. First of all, you're left with a gaff card in the deck after you perform, and if you're not skilled with palming or copying or anything, or ditching a card, this will be difficult for you to get rid of, and this will basically become a one-trick deck because of one gaff card. But, I mean, if you're good at ditching cards and stealing away cards, then this should be fine for you. Truly Screwed, another problem I sort of see sometimes is whenever I perform this effect, once I screw the deck and it's all in its weird, mixed-up position, people always will at least start to ask you if they can see the deck and if they can handle the deck, because you've just created such a weird, impossible object. Of course, a spectator is going to want to see it and hold it for themselves and experience this bizarre object for themselves. But the effect essentially twists the deck, show it for a second, twist it back, haha, sorry, you missed out. So, there are a lot of aspects I don't like, but it's a really creative, cool effect, and I quite like it. It's a nice little visual bit. I mean, at very least you could pass it off as a gag. I can see a few people doing that. But Truly Screwed is a nice little bit. I gave it a 7 out of 10. So, Water Trap by Bro Gilbert, 8 out of 10. Done Deal by Sean Dunn, 5 out of 10. Invisible Palm Aces, the Wayne Houchen version, 9 out of 10. And Truly Screwed by Paul Harris, 7 out of 10. So, again, a mixed disc. Mostly good stuff. And, well, only 2 more discs to go. It's sad, isn't it? On to disc 8. See you there.